Hi friends, this is Shar. So today's video, yung tatalakayin natin is yung I-765, which is the employment authorization. So I have my laptop here with me, and then i-guide ko kayo sa every form or sa mga special instructions, edition date, kung paano kayo pupunta dito sa paano nyo mahanap yung mga forms. So, let me know, comment below kung meron ako nakaligtaan or something, but I will try my best na i-explain everything since supposed to be na ipapakita ko yung forms ko ng lahat ng forms ko, but meron kasing mga doon na personal. So I'll just help you out na i-run through yung mga forms ng ng I-765. Okay? Tapos ayun, I'm not a lawyer, just to let you know. So I did only all my research regarding about my applications. So like what I said, bago ko siya ipasa, gusto kong i-share sa inyo. So, in case na may makaligtaan ako. So, andito sa akin yung papel ko. So, if you watch my other video, so, tinalakay natin yung cover letter. So, andito yung mga iwa one by one natin. So, until page 1 to 7 lang siya. So, one by one natin yung forms. Tapos, alam nyo naman na yung mga supporting evidence na inano ko, pero ira-run through pa rin natin. Okay, let's do this. So, ito yung website ng USCIS. So, you just go to click this uscis.gov, and then sa search tab, search our site, just type 765, then proceed to employment authorization. There you go. Then, after that, punta kayo dito sa application for employment. Then, andito na lahat ng mga forms or yung mga nakalagay. Ang sabi dito, there's an alert. So, Department of Homeland Security published final rule that permanently increased the automatic extension period of employment authorization. And employment authorizations documents or EAD available to certain EAD renewal applicants from up to 180 days up to 540 days. So the final rule will continue to help prevent eligible renewal EAD applicants. So wala tayo dito dahil mag-a-apply pa lang tayo. It's all about the renewal. So, meron pang alert again na ang sabi ay please remember, okay, so very important. Please remember that photos submitted to USCIS must submit unmounted and unretouched. Unretouched means the photos must not be edited or digitally enhanced. So, the submission of any mounted or retouched images will delay the processing of your application and may prompt USCIS to require that you appear at an applicant support center to verify your identity. So, basically on that for the photo, so make sure it's 2x2. Nandoon na yung it's a passport size. So, para hindi masyadong magulo tong video natin, natin yun. Saka na sa next na video na natin, tapos tatalakayin natin tong photos. Pero ayun na nga, at least meron kayong idea, it's 2x2. Pero ayun, may alert talaga siya doon sa mismong website na kailangan mounted or unretouched. Okay, so walang Adobe or edited something. So now, if you have not already started the EAD application, you can begin here by creating a USCIS account online and filing Form I-765. We will mail your work permit to the address you provided in your application if your application is approved. If necessary, you can file a paper application for Form I-765 instead, and blah, 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 blah. So, next is, it says here, after we approve a Form I-765, your EAD card should be produced within 2 2 weeks. Can you imagine that? 2 weeks. We will mail your EAD card via USPS priority mail. So please ensure that you have the correct mailing address on file with USCIS. So if you mailing address changes after you file your application, you must update your address with USCIS and USPS as soon as possible. So if you don't update your address promptly, your case could be delayed. Your documents could get lost, and you may need to reapply and pay the fee again. Alright, so the time frame in which you will receive your EAD card may vary. Like what I said in my previous video, usually estimated depending on USPS delivery times. Please allow a total of 30 days from approval before inquiring with USCIS. So we encourage you to case status online to find your USPS tracking number for EAD card delivery. If you have not received your card within this time frame, please visit eRequest self-service tool for instruction on how to submit an inquiry. So, ayun na nga, to make the long story short, ang sabi is, i-mail nila yung I-765 card mo after nilang maaprobahan, tapos in 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, bibigay na nila, isasend nila yung, or they will mail yung EAD mo or Employment Authorization document mo through USPS. So, if you change your address, so make sure update mo ka agad as soon as possible yung USCIS or USPS para hindi mawala yung malost yung documents mo, or otherwise kapag na-lost, you need to reapply and fee again. So something like that. So at least give them at least allowance 30 days after the approval kung wala pa rin yung EAD, tapos meron doon naka-highlight yung e-request or self-service tool para tanungin sila kung nasaan na yung EAD card mo. So, hopefully, walang mangyaring ganun sa atin. So, ayun na nga. So, nakalagay dito, next is file online. So, before we proceed to file online case status alert and secure messages, see all case respondents. So, meron dito, so baba, meron ditong forms and documents download. So, andito yung forms, instructions, and the worksheet. Then, yung edition date na lagi kong sinasabi sa video na you can find the edition date at the bottom of the page on the form and instructions. So, it says August 28, 2024. So, dapat ang nasa form ay 765 for now, since ang edition is August 8. So, ito yung form ko. It's blurry. Gamit ko kasi yung GoPro. Pero, ayun na nga. Ang akin is like this. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, so, August 8, 28, 2024. And then, if you complete and print this form to mail it, make sure the form edition date and page numbers are visible at the bottom of all pages. So, yun yung sinasabi ko lagi, that all pages are from the same form edition. If any of the forms pages are missing or are from a different form edition, we may reject your form. So, if you need help downloading and printing forms, read our instructions. So, ayun na nga yung sinasabi ko lagi sa lahat ng video ko na kailangan yung edition tsaka expiration dun sa taas. Though hindi naka-include yung expiration, pero yung expiration na sa taas ng papel na dapat tugma doon sa kanilang updated form. Tapos, kailangan walang missing na pages. Otherwise, they will reject the form. Okay? So, now, let's move on. Next is where to file. The filing depends on your reason for applying and the eligibility category you entered in the question number 27. We'll run through later on. Then, please check the filing locations form for form I-765 for the list of addresses. So, if you are replacing, so, hindi tayo magre-replace ng card. So, we move on. So, yung filing locations, so, mamaya i-ano ko sa inyo or magsa-separate tayo ng video para doon sa filing form. Pero, kasi depende kung anong state ka, tapos kung saan, yung sa akin kasi sa Kentucky. So, ito yung aking P.O. Box. which is sa Arizona kami. So, dati is Chicago, so ngayon na bago. So, make sure you always double check kung saan. Alright, when to file. Next, if you wish to renew an existing employment authorization, so we move on from that. Hindi tayo magre-renew. Pero ang sabi dito, if you wish to renew an existing employment authorization, you should file within 6 months of the expiration on your EAD. We recommend you do not file a request to renew your EAD more than 180 days before the expiration of your EAD. So once we receive, we generally do not backdate or postdate the renewal EAD. Please refer to the 765 instruction on other specific categories. So, ito ay... So, isa-skip natin to kasi napakahaba and hindi na... Ayokong basahin yan para sa inyo kasi dito lang tayo. Ito yung akin. So, sa C9 tayo. So, ang sabi dito, file Form I-765 together with Form I-485, application to register permanent residence or adjust status, or if filing separately, submit a copy of I-485, receipt notice, or other evidence to show that your Form I-485 is pending. So, meron sa form, isa sa mga pages, sa mga form, yun yung fill up, ilalagay natin, C9. So, ifa-file natin yung 765 together sa I-485. So, wala akong pending na any application. So, file together. So, pwede naman yun. Like what I mentioned sa mga previous videos ko na pwede yung I-131 and I-765 together ng, they called it concurrent filing together with the I-485. Okay? So, I-485 is the adjustment of status. Now, let's move on. Filing fee. Alright. So, nakalagay naman na dito. Pag pumunta kayo ng website, so you can find the filing fee, the form, visiting our fee schedule. So, just click mo lang yon, tapos pupunta kayo sa next page. Then, magkakaroon na siya ng, tawag dito, yun na nga, makikita mo na yung fee schedule. So, meron dito, you may pay the fee with a money order, personal check, cashier's check, or pay by credit card or debit card using Form G1450 or authorization for credit card transactions. So, yung akin is, yung form ko is, ang ginamit ko money order. So, next video, isasabihin ko bakit money order, bakit hindi personal check, cashier's check, pay by the credit card or debit card. So, bibigyan ko lang kayo ng quick na introduction na kung bakit money order, kasi yun ang mas madali at hindi ginamit yung credit card or debit card kasi usually nawawala lagi yung pera or nagkakaroon ng problema sa transactions that might delay yung processing ng form. So, well, yun lang yung, may mga incident kasi na ganun. Pero usually yung iba ginagamit pa din credit card or debit card. So kapag gagamit ka ng credit card or debit card, make sure you fill out the G1450 or authorization for credit card transactions. Next, when you send a payment, you agree to pay for a government service. Filing fees are final and non-refundable. So naka-bold siya. So once we pay, that's it. Regardless of any actions we take on your application, petition, or request, or if you withdraw your request. So, hindi siya, wala nang urungan. Pag nagbayad ka, yun na yun. So, hindi siya parang damit na kapag hindi mo gusto, susoli mo, tapos manghingi ka ng refund. So, walang ganun. So, yun na yun. Matanggap o hindi. So, parang pag-apply ng visa. So, denied or approved, you still have to pay. So, walang dispute ng payment. And then, if you are submitting multiple forms, pay each filing fee separately. So, ngayon, siguro, we are transitioning to electronically processing migration benefit requests to use multiple system to process your PA. We may reject your entire package if you submit a single combined payment for multiple forms. So, like what I said, magkakaroon ako ng separate videos regarding about dito sa filing fee or sa ano ko. We'll see. So, I only have few days para itackle lahat ng mga forms ko. Pero anyway, I'll try my best. So, ang sabi dito, hindi mo dapat i-combine. So, tulad ako, ang ina-apply ko, may I-130 ako, may I-485, may 864, 765, and 630. So, 4 lang yung babayaran ko doon. Yung 130, 485, 765, and 131. So, total of $3,005. Yeah, $3,005. Tama ba? $3,000.05. Something like that. Sa $3,005 yung total. Tapos, ang ano na niya, hindi mo siya dapat iisa-isahin sa bayad. Kasi nga, ang sabi dito, we may reject your entire package. So, i-reject nila yung entire package mo or packet kapag pinagsama mo sa isang, pag kinumbine mo yung lahat ng payment sa lahat ng forms. Kasi nga, iba-iba yung mag-aasikaso ng mga forms na to. So, there's no filing fee for the initial renewal, replacement, 7 for former service. So, ano na natin yan. So, dito, hindi na naka-indicate, pero yung filing fee na kapag on or before April 1, 76, kapag nakalagay dito na kapag nag-apply ka before April 1, 2024, tapos yung I-485 mo is still pending, so there's no fee of charge. Pero kapag tulad ko, ngayong taon ako, year 2025 ako mag-a-apply, tapos I will apply together with the concurrent filing ko yung I-485. So, instead na $560, $260 lang yung babayaran ko. So, 50% off. So, meron dito, checklist of required initial evidence for information purposes. So, later on, i-view natin yung checklist kung meron nga ba ako lahat nito. Then, form filing tips. So, tips for filing forms by mail, page 4, and how to ensure we will accept your form. And naka-bold dito, don't forget to sign your form. We will reject any unsigned form. So, lagi ko nga sinasabi sa video, kailangan merong sign lahat ng form or documents. Kasi nga, reject kagad. So, yung, diba, intense yung word nila, talagang reject. Special instructions. So, ito na nga. Ito yung sinabi ko ng mga previous. So, e-notification if you want to receive an email or text message that we have accepted your form at the USCIS lockbox. Complete this 1145 e-notification switch. I have it here and clip it to the first page of your form. So, ito yung akin. So, ayan na yun. So, hindi naman nababago to. Pinakal nyo lang yung nasa dulo nito, yung itong file na to, yung tinatakpan ko. So, ayun na yun. Then, after that, hindi na natin to kailangan kasi hindi naman tayo Afghan parole. Replacing card that has incorrect information. Ano na natin yan? Skip na natin to mga to. Yung now and then. So, alam ko. Yep. Mahaba kasi to. So, C8, C8, C9 tayo. So, wala na. So, now, we will move on dito sa forms na. Okay? Hindi tayo magpa-file online kasi nga, isa-submit natin siya katulad ng ano natin. Lahat ng forms. So, dito tayo sa form. So, ganito ang itsura niya. So, ito yung sabi ko, yung expiration niya is September 30, 2027. Now, we'll double check my form. So, ayun. Nakalagay din sa akin September 30, 2027. So, tama tayo. So, ayun na nga. Dito, nakalagay for USCIS. So, we're not allowed to put anything here. Then, start here. Nakalagay naman dito, start here, type or print in black ink. So, ang nakalagay dito, reasons for applying. So, ang ilalagay na atin dito is 1A, initial permission to accept employment. So, kasi hindi naman tayo magre-replace of lost, stolen, damage, so wala pa, or renewal of permission. So, ito yung ilalagay natin. Then, after that, type mo yung family name or legal name. For example, lahat ng nasa vlog, lagi ang nakalagay, ang example nila is Jane. Okay. That's right. Jane. Oh, sorry. Doe yung last name. So, type Doe. Then, Jane. Okay. Then, yung middle name. So, in my part, nilagay ko pa din. So, nasa sayo kung gusto mo pa rin gamitin yung maiden name mo nung pagkadalaga. So, akin, ang ginamit ko is, wait, inom lang ako. Shout out sa Starbucks. I love Starbucks. Okay. So, ayun na nga. Ginamit ko pa din yung apelyido ko ng pagkadalaga, yung maiden name ko, so nilagay ko dito siya sa my middle name. So for example, yung middle name mo is Legaspi. Okay. Then right there. So Jane Legaspi Doe. Yan ang magiging ano mo sa part 2 information about you. So ayun na nga. And then we move on. So, other names used, it says provide all other names you have ever used, including aliases, maiden name, and nicknames. If you need extra space, then go to. So, dito, since yung maiden name mo, kasi yun ang ginamit mo ng mga pagkadalaga ko, so, ibig sabihin, ang mangyari nito, magiging Jane. Kunyari, ang last name mo is Legaspi. Diba? Then, ang given name mo is Jane. Tapos, ano yung, iba kasi yung middle name natin sa ano, diba? Yung ginagamit nating middle name, yung, ginagamit nating middle name is yung apelyido nung nanay natin. So, kunyari, here is Perez. So, magiging ganyan. Legaspi, Jane Perez. So, dito, hindi mo na kailangang, capital letter or something. So, meron kasi iba, kailangan ba dapat capital letter yung lahat, ano? So, hindi nakalagay doon, hindi naka-indicate doon sa information ng 765, so we don't have to. Tapos, ito, kung wala naman, the rest, you don't have to. So, ilagay ng NA or we can leave it blank according to the USCIS. So, we will just leave it blank rather than we write the NA. So, now, we proceed to the second one. So, part 2, information about you, US mailing address. So, in care of name, if any. So, kapag merong nakikitira lang kayo, tapos, iba ang tatanggap ng mail nyo, so ilagay nyo dyan yung in care of name. Pero kung wala, just leave it blank kung ikaw pa din ang tatanggap ng mail. So, leave it blank. And then, street number, blah, blah, blah. So, alam mo na yan, city of town. So, kung saan kayo. Tapos, ayan, click mo lang dyan. Kung ako, sa Kentucky kami, then, type the zip code. Tapos, ang question dito, for example, tapos, is your current mailing address is the same as your physical name address? Then, you will say yes. But there's a note. If you answered no to item number 6, you need to provide your physical address below. So, since we said yes, so just leave it blank, this one. Next, alien registration number. So, kung meron kang alien registration number, type any. If wala, then yeah. So, USCIS online account number. So, ako, meron akong USCIS online account number. Kasi nga, kung nanood kayo ng mga dati kong video, nag-apply ako ng extension nung July 2020, nag-apply ako ng extension, tapos na-aprobahan yun, kaya ako nagkaroon ng US online account. However, hindi iyon yung tinutukoy nila sa US online account. So, dapat may sa special instruction, may nakalagay na specific letter. Kasi yung akin, nung time na yun, yung ko, nagsa-start sa I something. So, hindi iyon. So, hindi yun considered kahit na meron akong USCIS online account number. So, hindi iyon yung tinutukoy nilang online account. Okay? Tapos, gender, female. Marital status, syempre, married. Have you previously filed? No. Has the social security. So, ito tinatanong nila kung nakapagkaroon ka na ng Social Security Administration or officially issued social security card to you. No. Then we will proceed. No. Okay, and then note, there is a note there. If you answered no, then item 13A, skip to item number 14. Yes to item number 13, provide the information. So, ayun na nga. So, always follow the instructions. Naka-bold naman to. So, isi-skip na natin siya kapag wala. So, do you want the SSA to issue you a social security card? And then, of course, we will say yes. Kasi wala pa tayo niyan. Then, meron siyang disclosure. If you answered no, then we will skip. Pero, syempre, gusto natin magkaroon. Then, ito na yung consent na i-authorize natin sila na magkaroon tayo ng SSA. Tapos, signing na bibigyan tayo ng social security card. Then, yes, it means you agreed. And then, after that, we will proceed to your information about you. Okay? And here, it says your father's name. Then, kaya nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan yung father's name. Then, given name, first name. Then, mother's name. Provides your mother's birth name. So, don't forget your mother's birth name. Hindi yung anak niya, yung pangalan niya nung kinasal siya. So, kailangan yung maiden name niya. Your country or country citizenship or nationality. So, sa atin, Philippines. So, kung yung iba, kung marami kayong nationality, kung dual citizen, so, right here. And then, kung mas marami pa multiple yung citizen or national nyo, then, provide in part 6 additional information. Okay? Now, let's move on to page 3, place of birth. Kung saan, village or birth, state, province of birth, and country of birth. So, Philippines, and then, yan nga, province of birth. So, makikita nyo to sa birth certificate nyo, and then yung date of birth. Now, so Form I-94 arrival, departure, or record, if any. Of course, meron tayo kasi hindi pwedeng wala. So, pupunta tayo dito sa I-94 official website. So, ito yung website niya. Ayan. Sorry, kasi ang gamit ko lang, mahirap lang tayo. So, ang gamit ko lang ay GoPro. So, i94cbpdhs.gov. So, wala ako yung dahil nga first time kong mag-vlog. So, GoPro lang ang gamit ko lahat para So, hindi tayo mag-a-apply for new I-94. So, we will click on this one, get most recent I-94. Then, terms of condition. So, I acknowledge and agree. Then, ibibigay mo lang lahat to sa kanila, yung information. So, ganito yung magiging, yung given name mo, last name, date of birth, yung sinasabi ko. Alam ko, nasabi ko na to sa previous video ko eh. Date of birth, yung document number, kung ano yung passport kasi yung binigay ko. So, and then Philippines. PHL. And then, you will continue. So, ang itsura niyan ay magiging ganito. Okay. So, takpan ko na lang. So, parang ganyan. So, ganyan. Ganyan siya. Ganyan yung itsura niya kapag merong nakalagay na print or form. So, ayun, makikita mo na doon. Then, yung I-94 niya, yung number na sinasabi dito is yung nandoon na makikita mo sa I-94 mo, which is itong admission. Yan, di ba? Admission I-94 record number. Yan ang ilalagay mo po dito sa form. Nasaan na siya? Dito. Yan yung record number. Yun ang ilalagay mo. Tapos passport number. Ano yung passport number mo. Tapos travel document number. So yung travel document number, yun yung nasa B2 visa. Ako kasi ang gamit ko B2 visa, di ba? So, meron doon sa pinaka-red ng B2 visa mo. So, right. So, I'll show you kung ano yung itsura niya. Kasi ako, sinearch ko lang din. Hindi kasi ako sure. So, dito siya makikita. Okay. So, ganito siya. So, tanananan. Ito. So, ganito yung tsura ng B2 visa. 'Di ba? Tapos, dito, yung red number doon. Yun yung travel number na tinatanong. So, we move on. So, yun yung ilalagay mo dito sa travel document number. Got it? And country that issued your passport or travel documents, of course, Philippines. Then, ito, self-explanatory, expiration date na makikita mo sa passport mo. Date of your last arrival into the United States on or about. So, yung date of your last arrival, so ako dumating ako dito April 8, so nilalagay ko dito April 8. So, follow this one, month, day, and year, kasi nga wala siyang option dito ng ano. So, 04/08/2025. Okay. Now, dito sa may anong page na tayo? Page 3 na. Okay. Now, dito sa my place of your last arrival into the United States. So, yung sa akin, from the Philippines, meron akong San Francisco. Tapos, after nyan, yung last entry ko is yung kung saan talaga yung final destination ko is Nashville, Tennessee. So, ang ilalagay mo dito ng last arrival into the United States is kung saan ka tinatakan, kung saan ka binigyan ng I-94, or kung saan ka tinanong ng immigration officer. So, it doesn't mean na kung ang baba mo, ang last destination mo, tulad sa akin, Nashville, Tennessee. So, hindi yun ang ilalagay mo. Ang ilalagay mo dito kung saan yung port of entry mo. Kung saan ka tinanong ng officer at kung saan ka tinataka ng passport or kung saan ka nabigyan ng I-94. So, kung sa akin, ang magiging ang lalagay ko is San Francisco. Kahit na ang ano ko ay Nashville, ang last destination ko. Got it? Tapos ito, syempre, gamit ko B2 visitor. So, type mo lang siya, B2 visitor. Your current immigration status, or, so your current is still B2 visitor. Hindi tayo student exchange, so, leave it blank. So, ito yung sinasabi ko na eligibility category, refer to the who may file form I-765, 765 section of the form, blah, 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 blah. So, sa atin, enter the appropriate letter and number for your eligibility. So, make sure you fill out this one. So, sa atin is C9 dahil adjustment of status. Okay? So, okay. Well, actually, maganda din na nag-video ako kasi na-check ko din yung aking form. Okay, so the rest is this one. Hindi ko nababasahin kasi napakadami niyan. And 33 minutes na tong aking video. So, wala tayo dito. C3, nope. Degree, employers, either. C26, hindi tayo. So, C9 tayo. Kaya nilagay natin C9. So, wala naman dyan C9. So, we will move on to 4. So, there you go. Applicant statement, contact, and blah, blah, blah. So, since you are applicant, so I can read and understand the English. The interpreter named in part 4, read to me every. So, ikaw, ang i-click mo dito 1A kung ikaw ang nag-fill out ng buong application mo. Pero kung meron kang interpreter na ginamit or meron kang preparer, so ita-type mo to. Then blah blah blah. So hindi pwedeng tatlo 'yan. Pwede namang tatlo pero kung may interpreter ka na, may preparer, pero ito lang. Kasi wala naman akong preparer or interpreter. So, lalagay mo dito yung daytime telephone number mo. Inulit ko lang actually sa akin. Wala namang sinabi talaga na instruction na hindi mo pwedeng ulitin. So, inulit ko yung daytime telephone number ko tsaka mobile telephone. Tapos yung address mo, email address. And then, hindi tayo dyan kasama. Then, basahin na lang to yung nakalagay dyan. Just read the instructions, declarations, and certification. And, yep. Then, after that, ito yung sasabi ko, application, signature. So, lalagay mo lang yung date, kung kailan ka date of signature. Nangyari ngayon, 4/22/2025. Okay. So, ipiprint mo lang siya and then kuha ka ng black pen tapos yun. So, black pen dapat, yeah? If you do not completely fill out this application or fail to submit required documents listed in the instructions, USCIS may deny your application. So, ayaw mo namang ma-deny yung application mo at di ka makapagbayad ng 260. Masayang yung 260 mo, di ba? So, part 4, di tayo niyan kasi interpreters lang. Then, interpreters. Tapos, part 5 is the preparer. So, ang nag-prepare. So, wala tayo niyan. Wala tayo niyan. Tapos, dito na tayo sa additional information. Usually, kapag Adobe ang gamit natin, automatically nag-fill out to. So, dapat kailangan meron kang Adobe sa laptop mo. Meron ako, kaso dito, hindi tayo nag-straight nun. Pero usually, kapag dun sa part 1, nung nagtanong yung family name or yung last name mo, usually, automatically mag-aano to dito. Magre-reflect doon sa part 6. So, make sure download Adobe. Okay? So, A number, wala. So, sa akin, 3D. So, for example, sa case ko, yan, pwede kong ipakita yan sa inyo. Kung paano ko finil upan yung akin. Page, so, meron akong ganito. Nag-fill out lang ako. So, page number 3, and then, part number 2, item number 27. So, pupunta ka. So, sa akin, page number 3. So, ito yun. Ito yun. Page number 3. Yung nilagay ko. Tapos, part number. Dito mo makikita yan. Part number 2. Page number 3. Part number 2 and item number 27. So, C9. So, ako, ang nilagay ko dito, it's not really optional. Optional naman siya, pero nilagay ko, after obtaining advance parole, which I am requesting along with this submission, and although I have an existing contract in the cruise line, as a seafarer during my scheduled vacation, and while residing in the U.S., I would like to gain work experience on land. My husband and I have both worked as a professional seafarers for the past 12 years. We are now ready to settle down and build our future together in the United States. Being able to work on land will help us gradually transition away from ship-based work and establish a stable life here. So, nag-explain ako niyan dito kasi, ayun na nga, ayokong isipin nila na, oh, may trabaho ka naman sa barko, bakit kailangan mo ng I-765? So, I explain my case right there. You don't have to kapag mag-apply ka ng 765. Sa akin lang kasi nga, meron akong kontrata, tapos kukuha ko ng 765. So, kaya I explain myself. So, usually, you don't have to. Pero, wag na wag mo kakalimutan na kahit wala kang ilagay dito sa mga pages na to, kailangan meron kang ilagay dito. Fill upan mo to. So, ang nilagay lahat natin doon, family name, Doe, Jane, and Legaspi. So, Adobe, automatically, yan. Kung walang Adobe, may free Adobe na Then just type legibly kung wala talaga. Alright, and then punta tayo dito ulit. Okay, tapos na tayo sa forms. Wow, it's 40 minutes na. So, since medyo mahaba na siya, okay, let's just go straight kasi magpa 40 minutes na siya. So, punta tayo dito sa my checklist. View the checklist. So, ito yung checklist of required initial evidence. Please do not submit this. It's an optional tool used to prepare your form. If you submit any documents, ito yung sasabi ko na if you submit any documents, copies or original documents, if requested. In a foreign language, you must include full English translation along with the certification from the translator. So, make sure always you will send them the copy. So, general requirements, dito tayo. So, a copy of your Form I-94, front and back, a printout of your electronic form. I-94, a copy of your form, front and back, and a printout of your electronic form I-94. So, your passport or other travel document. So, travel document means yung B2 visa mo or kung anong visa yung ginamit mo. So, print out mo lang tong yung electronic form mo ng I-94 mo. Tapos, a copy of your last employment, wala tayo niyan. 2 identical passport, yung sinasabi ko. So, magagawa tayong sariling video niyan. Form G28, wala tayo nito. Then, if you are not previously received a copy of government issued identity document. So, kahit anong, if you were not previously issued copy of a government issued identity document. So, kahit anong issued identity, pero sa akin, yung passport considered na yun na identity mo. Pero, if I am not, yep, wala na akong nilagay doon sa form ko. Let's check. Yep. Yun na yun. And then, after that, wala tayo nito. Refugee, C1, C3, F1, J1, B1, spouse. Where's the C9? C16, parole, removal, UI. There you go. Dito tayo, C9. Did you provide the following evidence of your valid or non-immigrant status? This form filed concurrently to adjust, for example, a copy of your I-485 receipt notice or other evidence. So, wala tayong receipt notice kasi nga i-concurrent filing tayo ng I-485. So, just disregard that. And then, okay. After that, let's see yung special instructions. So, ito na nga yung special instructions ng applicants, you petitioners. So, wala naman. Alam ko pinuntahan na natin to eh. Pero, yan yung C8. So, yun na. So, that's it. So, it's 43 minutes. So, I hope you guys learned kung paano fill upan yung I-765. So, good luck doon sa next, sa ibang forms kasi ang haba-haba. So, puputulin natin siya. Gagawin lang natin siyang forms lang muna. Tapos, sunod kung ano yung ano niya, mga filing or instructions. Kasi ang importante talaga yung guide na kung paano mo mapi-fill upan yung forms. 'Di ba? So, kung ganun yung sa akin, so, yeah, kung nakatulong, I hope. So, hindi ako marunong sa mga special effects, sa mga ano. So, kailangan mo na lang talagang sundan yung videos kasi nga, sorry, doon din sa mga tawag dito, yung iniikot ko lang yung GoPro. So, medyo malabo siya. Pero sana malinaw yung pagkakasabi ko. Wala din akong microphone. Kaya nga, gaya ng sabi ko, this is my first time to vlog. So, I hope na nakatulong sa inyo. Yun lang. Bye! Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below sa video ko. Kung meron kayong tanong, I will entertain since wala ako ngayon. Hindi naman ako busy. So, ayun. Thank you. Bye! Mwah.